Welcome to the top of Hard Knot. We've decided to pitch up here, probably not the best spot, to be honest, but I think we'll manage. The problem is, whilst the wind is coming from the northeast in this direction, because we're kind of in this sort of rather open area here, it swells around here, so you'd almost be better off sort of on the other side as it were. So that's where I've pitched, and I think we'll manage. I've kind of gone that way because I think the ground is maybe better that way, but also the rain is tending to sort of blow in a little bit, and I'm just thinking if I'm nearer that wall, then maybe I will get a little bit more, protection, from the rain. Although I've got the kilt, which I can put up, if necessary, as a makeshift door, and that will work fine. But on this side, it's even, it's very very windy here, so it's kind of just making the most of what we've got, really. You've got a really nice view from up here. You can see that we walked up that valley there. Great Moss is that bit down there, and then we would have gone up that valley across across bloody hell. Oh, let's come back a bit and see if it's a bit more sheltered here. Oh, not much. Right, these rocks here might give some protection. So yeah, so that's Great Moss down there. So we would have gone up that valley, then we would have gone over the top of this hill here, and then down this little valley here, and then camped somewhere down there, and then followed basically that valley, that water, pretty much in a straight line, to be honest, up here. And it's and this is where we've ended up. It's probably, like I say, not the best of places, but it's kind of like on our way back to the car, for tomorrow. And I kind of doubt there's anywhere else that's better than here, to be honest. So we'll kind of wing and pray it, really. It wasn't very easy getting pegs in, but I just about managed to get pegs in, because obviously you've got the rock on each side. Really difficult there. That's why I've got a couple of other pegs in there, just to give that one some extra support. Most of the other pegs went in reasonably well, to be honest, but definitely a little bit tricky. Not an ideal pitch. I definitely don't really recommend top of a mountain in a tarp. I think if you can be on the top of a mountain and the wind is literally blowing across the mountain, you might get away with it. But like I said, the problem when you're on a little sort of nook and cranny like this is, I think that what happens the wind is blowing across that way, but then it's like it's coming up this valley, and then it's like when it comes up the valley, it kind of does a twirly whirly thing. I mean, I'm not a meteorologist, so I can't really explain I can't really explain why when the wind is blowing directly towards us, some is blowing into the shelter. There's obviously something to do with currents and things like that with these rocks around here. Very, very windy. Hopefully tomorrow morning won't be quite as windy, and I might get the drone out, but it's far too windy, you know, now. Lassie, come back over here. But it's far too windy now. I mean, we're right on the edge of this really, that's one hell of a drop down there. You don't want to be, you definitely don't want to be sleepwalking here at night. And then basically the car is kind of just, you know, in that direction, get to, I think this is the hard knot area, then you get to the great end or broad end or whatever the end is called, border end or whatever it's end, and then you take that left hand turn down. So, you know, we're about 1.5 kilometers from the road. I didn't bother filming packing up because I've packed up several times and you've seen that. I didn't bother filming the walking here because again you saw that last time, so I was trying to keep it, and I filmed enough already. Hopefully, like I said, if it's not quite so windy in the morning, then it would be nice to get the drone, just fly it over that way a little bit, but this is far too windy. I wouldn't mind taking it up if it was quite breezy, but I think that's a bit too much for it, I think. The time is 4:15. I saw one person standing up there. That's literally as far as they got. They probably just walked up to the old knotty, and I think they must have turned around and gone back. I think it's unlikely that I'll see anyone else up here, so, you know, I'm probably going to get ready for bed soon, even though it's only just gone 4, you know, and it's not going to be dark for another 3 odd hours. Lassie, come back here. And even though it's not going to be dark for, you know, quite a while, given the weather and everything else like that, I don't really see the point in, you know, staying out in it. Well, good evening in camp. We are set up here. I've got my little kilt rigged up with the tripod. I've got it set up a little bit better than I had it the other day, where one of the legs kept bashing me in the head because it's kind of coming down at this angle. So I've got a slightly better angle for it, and that should mainly just keep any drops of rain away from me that are swirling around out there, because the wind is generally going in that direction. But like I said, there is some swirling wind on top of this knoll, as it were, that's kind of, you know, making the rain come in this direction. It's not so much rain that's coming in, it's just like, you know, droplets more than anything else. And I can still feel, you know, even though I'm way back here, I can still feel like 1 or 2 specks, there's even a couple of specks literally landing on the GoPro, and we're about, I don't know, 50 centimeters or more inside the tarp. The important thing is that we keep the important stuff dry. So obviously I need to make sure that I stay, you know, reasonably dry. Obviously the sleeping bag is under the bivy here. It's not a waterproof bivy, but it's a water resistant bivy, so it'll certainly protect from basically spray, which is what it is. So it'll protect from that. And obviously, you know, my jacket is, it's damp on the top, you know, the hood, you know, where it's this side of this, you know, it's got a little bit of spray on it, but you know, it's fine. I mean, if there was no, if it like hammered it down with rain, then I think that, you know, the weight of the rain would have it blowing that way, you know, away from me. I think it's literally because there's very, very light drizzly rain out there that it's making it swirl around a bit. But like I say, if push came to shove, then I would, you know, simply just put myself under the bivy, and then I think this would protect me, because the only part of the bivy that is kind of open is this mesh front, and I think just about we would be protected, you know, from the worst of it. So, you know, I'm feeling comfortable. But you know, you can see even there on the jacket there's some rain coming in, and that's, you know, that's the halfway point there. So it, you know, it just just shows the ridiculousness of this particular pitch. But never mind, we'll be fine. Worst things happen at sea. But yeah, I can definitely feel spray coming, you know, coming this way, but it's fine. We're not going to worry about it. There's water landing there on my phone there. But again, that's easy to, you know, if it became too much of a problem, pull that back there, lift the pack up like that, as simple as that. Just raise the pack up, and that's literally got that area covered. The only part that can get any moisture on it is this mesh here. So quite literally all I would need to do if it became a problem, and I think it'll blow over in a minute, would be to do the bivy up here, here, and we'd be 90% protected, if not 100% protected. We're fine. I mean, it's definitely cooler. It has cooled off. This is the first time. Mind you, last night I put my jacket on, but I actually probably didn't need it on last night. I did take it off eventually, but I suspect that I will probably keep the jacket on for a while this evening. When I, you know, look at the forecast, it's basically showing, so 6 o'clock, 30% chance of rain, which is basically what this is. And then there's no more rain. There may be another 30% chance of rain at 9 o'clock tonight. Other than that, there's not really any more rain, and then there's sunny intervals tomorrow. It's quite windy, 32, gusting up to 32 now. And then tomorrow morning, gusting up to 18 or 20, so not so windy in the morning. So it should ease off as we proceed into the evening. Nicely protected there, really. My little funny cocoon, my funny little cocoon thing set up there. We're very where are you? There you are. We're very comfy. I've got my tea stuff set up there, so I've got tea, you know, next. So just gonna be a little bit careful. Obviously this is, you know, I don't want that melting or something, because this is pretty important, this kilt, so I don't want that melting, so I'm keeping a bit of an eye on that. But so I think what we're going to do is we're going to have tea, and then I think I'm going to have this FIREPOT beef stew with pearl barley. Actually, this is different, isn't it? Because one I had last time was Summit to Eat, and this is FIREPOT. This is a different brand. So we'll have that a little bit later and see, you know, see what that tastes like. I'm gonna have tea first, and then we'll have that FIREPOT. It should taste okay, to be honest. Actually, I was just thinking, am I gonna pee? I might make quite a handy pee bag, actually. Well, when in Rome and all. Well, I sure as hell not getting out in any rush to get out or anything. But anyway, we'll see. I think the next thing to do is to make a cup of tea. I think is literally the next thing to do, and it has boiled, so I'm going to get on and have my tea. Okay, so it's had 18 minutes and it's taken up the water. It looks okay. The truth, as they say, is in the eating. It's okay. It's not as hydrated as the Summit to Eat. I think the Summit to Eat was much nicer. It's supposed to be with pearl barley, but beef, potato, celeriac, pearl barley, 5%. Why call it beef with pearl barley when the pearl barley is 5%? Be beef with potato. The beef is 20% and the potato is 20%. Well, you can see one bit of pearl barley. All right, well, I'm gonna carry on chewing this and I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, well, the verdict on the FIREPOT, nah, not so good. Maybe the water wasn't hot enough. It had plenty of time to hydrate. Definitely not Definitely not as nice as the Summit to Eat. The Summit to Eat, much better. The Summit to Eat, I think I gave it 10 out of 10 because realistically you can't really get, you know, for a freeze-dried meal, you know, obviously the Fusion meals were, you know, absolutely superb, but you can't even get those now. So I think I gave the Summit to Eat a 10 out of 10 because for what it was pretty nice. This, oh, 5 or 6, maybe 6 out of 10, you know. I mean, it was edible. I'll give it 6 out of 10 because, you know, you could eat it. I wish everybody a good night. Okay, for the third time, it's coming up to 11, but not quite 11. And the GoPro Hero 10 keeps turning off low battery when the original regular battery is on 40%. So I most definitely won't be using the regular batteries ever again in this. I will stick to the newer high powered you know, battery. Anyway, you probably can't see a huge amount. I've had to put the power pack in the back of this as well because I've got everything. I've got a few bits inside with me here, basically a power pack, phones there, and then outside you can see just about the, you know, the pack there. And then if I swing this over here, I've put the cooker just under cover to give it some protection, and then out there is my waterproofs, and I've kind of semi-protected them with the water bottles, so that will give some protection from any drizzle that manages to get in. And then around this side, I'm not sure what you can see there. So then this side I've got my bit of Cuban, which actually is no longer waterproof, unfortunately. It's so old now, it's just filling up with it's got very holy, but that does happen to Cuban when it gets very old and is scrunched up so much. That's why if you've got a Cuban shelter, keep it very loosely packed and it'll last a long time. And obviously you're not using them all the time, whereas that was a very lightweight Cuban. It's either 0.5, maybe even less, I'm not sure, but it's literally on its last legs now. But basically I've just got that protecting, you know, a few bits over there, and then of course there's one dog that's sleeping back there as well. And you can see above us my very odd contraption just to keep any drizzle that blows in, you know, off of me. It's not ideal, but it'll work, you know, it'll get me through the night. And I'm, you know, very comfortable in here. I've been watching, you know, a film, and basically that's, you know, that's the top of the sleeping bag. You can see that I'm not doing anything. You can see I'm not moving. That is literally the wind that is blowing this bivy material around. You can see how much breeze is getting through here. But we're very comfortable. We're very well protected. I think we should get through the night you know, perfectly well, hopefully. And then we will, you know, obviously see you. So yeah, so it's 11:15, so I'm tired now. So put my head down, put my head down. And we will see you tomorrow morning, or during the night if we have anything to report, but most likely in the morning, or the next part. All these different parts. Paul Messner, you're doing 2 parts. You've got to do like 20 parts. You're catching up. You're slowly catching up. Anyway, I'll catch up with you all tomorrow. Bye. Hang on, what have I got to press? Hang on, let's have a look here. Hang on. Press that button there.